Hi everybody and welcome to another Bitwig video. Today we're going to take this microphone and convert audio into MIDI data in real time. Is it really possible to use a microphone as a drum pad? Well, I think so. My name is Mattias and let's take the tour. Yeah, so that was a quick demo to show you that yes, it's possible to convert basically any type of audio source and convert it to MIDI data in Bitwig Studio. It's not super perfect, it's a little bit laggy, but there's a few things that we can do to make it a little bit more accurate. So what's behind the scenes here? We have an audio track here, audio 1, and we are receiving from UR1, and I can actually turn on this microphone, but we need to disable it in OBS so you don't get double audio. So as you can see there, I can use my voice or any type of sound source as a trigger for this replacer device. So on this audio track 1 we have this replacer device, and this replacer listens to the incoming audio and it converts it to MIDI data. And we also have a filter here, so we can filter out certain frequencies and only listen to certain frequency areas. We can also set some threshold here, and that's basically the threshold for where to start to listen for this incoming audio. And we also have some tolerance and a hold value. And you don't want to have this hold setting too low, because then the triggering is going to get wild and you're going to get double triggering. So yeah, I set this to trigger note C2 and with a velocity of 70%. But we have some additional devices here which helps to make this conversion more smooth, because as this device is set up by default, we only have a static velocity generated from this audio replacer. And you can experiment with these settings, but I found that for my case, minus 43 decibels for threshold, and with a tolerance of plus 10, I think it sounds quite good, and a hold setting with about 11 or 12 milliseconds. But as I said, you don't want it too low, and you can actually increase it if you have a slower kind of drum pattern. Right, so we also have this audio sidechain modulator attached to the replacer device, and that is to help and drive the amplitude or the MIDI velocity here. So you can see that this modulator is attached to the audio sidechain with a little bit of modulation there, and that helps to drive the velocity. So you have a quite nice display here in the audio replacer, which shows you exactly where the transients are in this audio. Right, so now when we have our audio converted to MIDI via this replacer device, we can look within the generator section of this replacer. And here we have the MIDI data coming in, and we have a note velocity device. And this one also further changes the velocity slightly. We can also add some randomization here to have a little bit more wild velocity going on. Then I have the contact sampler, which is basically the sampler. And I'm using this percussion ethnic woods menu from the Damage Heaviosity sound pack. It's a very nice percussion sample library. Furthermore, we have an additional audio sidechain device here within the contact sampler. As of now, it's not doing anything, but we could use this modulator to drive maybe some MIDI CC within the contact instrument. After the contact, I have a tool device, and you can see it's deactivated at the moment. I will show you what this does in a second. Then we have an OTT here in the end just to compress this final audio. You can actually hear the underlying clappings if I disable the contact instrument. Okay, so this tool device, which was disabled, we can enable it and listen to this change in in audio. You can see that this tool device made the sound a little bit tighter, and that's because I have another audio sidechain within the tool device, and this one is modulating the amplitude. So basically this one is also helping to bring the sound to a more dynamic expansion, basically so we can have lesser volume and more high volumes, because I thought that the velocity generated by the replacer was a little bit narrow. We can also see that with this velocity curve. You can see it's not moving around too much between the values here. So I introduced this tool device and also listen to the audio of the track and convert that into modulation data and attach that to the amplitude. So that helps to bring this little performance to a more dynamic performance. Okay, another tip here today. If you for some reason want to record the MIDI generated by this audio replacer, you could go to a second track here. This second one is a MIDI track. The first one was an audio track. Let's go to this MIDI track and we can go into our input section, the MIDI input section of this MIDI track. You can see it's often set to all ins, which means that all the note inputs, the computer keyboard, touch keyboard, my Keystation Mini 32, and yeah, your controller here. That MIDI will be recorded to the track. But we can go in here and select the track, go to the audio track, and the replacer, generator, and this note velocity. You can see there's a little square beside the note velocity here, and that means that this track is generating MIDI. You can also see that beside this replacer we have this little sign which will show if we have MIDI on this track. So let's go in here to the note velocity and let's see if we get some MIDI from that audio replacer. In the beginning of this video I was talking a little bit about that this MIDI is slightly laggy, and we have a solution to that. If you have your audio recorded, you can always go in here to the offset and you can offset the audio hits slightly here. I just set it to maybe 1.13 there. So that's one little tip to overcome if you find that the MIDI generated is a little bit sluggish. Right, so I think that this is a quite cool way of generating MIDI data from basically anything. Just tap your body and tap the table or anything and yeah, have some MIDI being generated. If you have any questions on this method, please write them in the comment section below. If you're new, you know what to do. Subscribe, hit the like, write some nice feedback and hit the notification bell so that you get the notice when I release new videos. Okay, so that's all for today and now you can continue and watch my next video. I know it's Black Friday, but hold on to your wallet and see you in the next video. My name is Mattias, bye! När isen spricker upp till en sol vi håller kär, du väljer nu din väg. Och månen flyter bort så långt ifrån oss nu, de skymmer aldrig ner.